Hello viewers, in this video tutorial, as you can clearly see on the board, we are about to go over some practice problem in relation to 11 plus exams past questions. So the problem we'll be working through is actually relative to this section of ordering and recognizing of large numbers. So let's start with the first one. We are required to write the following numbers as words. As you can clearly see, say that write these numbers as words. So before we dive into writing the given numbers in words, it is important for you to know how to actually do that. So let's talk about what you need to know. Consider the number you're clearly seeing on the board. Let's say we are required to pronounce or write this number. How do we want to go about it? So this is what you need to know. Each commas you are seeing writing actually has a name. So starting from the right, the first one is called 1,000, which I will just write for short as TH. Well, let me write it in full. You can say 1,000. The next one is called millions. The next one that follows is called billion. And if you have any other commas after the third one, then that would have been nothing but trillion. But I basically designed these numbers just to disclose the concept. So now, having known what each commas represent, it is important for you to know the place value of each of the numbers. Each group of threes of numbers you are having right here has their corresponding place value, which is what you actually want to keep in mind. So starting from the group of three we have from the right hand side, the first digit that tends to show up is at the place value of units. The next one that follows is tens. And the next one is hundreds. Now it continues like that, starting from units all the way to 100 for each group of three. So which means for this 4, it's at the place value of units, which I just write as U for short. And the next one is tens, followed by hundreds. Again, we have units, tens, hundred. Since the last group is not up to 3, then we just have it as the units. So assuming it is also up to a group of 3, then we have the subsequent place value, which is the tens and hundred. So having known the place value of each digit, you need to understand that between the place value of 100 and tens, there's a word called and. Now, if the digits we have at the place value of tens, if it is 0, just as the way we have it here, then the word and will be in between 100 and units. So that's where it's going to be. Now, these only occur if the digits that correspond to the place value of tens is 0. Am I communicating? Perfect. Now, for the last group of 3 to the right, in between 100 and tens, we will have and. And these are the basic things you actually need to successfully read out or write out any given number. So it means with all this, we can actually pronounce this number. So let's begin. So we start with, remember this is units. So 2,700,000 and don't forget that in between tens and units, 796. Am I communicating? 2,796,000,000, the next comma, okay, and 96 million. Perfect. 300. Now this is 0, so we are going to jump to the and directly. 304,000. Are we there? 304,000. Immediately after the 4 units, we have a comma. And that comma is 1,000. 304,000. Then we have 815. Excellent. So assuming it's not 1, let's say it's like 2, then it would have been 825. And as you can clearly see, it's very, very easy and convenient for us to pronounce the number, regardless of how large it is. So keeping track of all this will definitely help you to successfully pronounce any large number at ease. So now, the given problem in the past question, they are not actually grouped in threes. Let's bring it back. As you can clearly see, they are not grouped in threes. So you must know how to group large numbers in 3 as well, so that in case you have a problem like this. So let's say we have 2796. Okay, I'm not even write the same thing. I just say, okay, 5. We have this number and we are required to write it in word, or we are required to pronounce it, to state it out. So how do we do that? For we to actually apply this, we need to group the number in threes. So to group it, you start from the right hand side. So just pair the first 3 digits you have from the right hand side. That's 956. Then immediately after that, you have your comma. Then you pair another 3 digits. But unfortunately, we don't have up to 3 digits anymore. But instead, we are left over with 2. So that's not a big deal. With this, you have to successfully group your given number. So it means if we need to pronounce it, we just need to write a comma. The first comma that comes up is 1000, TH. Let me just write it as TH, 1000. Okay, perfect. Then we state the place value of the digits. The first one is units, tens, hundreds. Again, units, tens. Perfect. Then we know that in between 100 and tens, we have and, which makes sense. Now, in between 100 and units, we can also have and, but this will only occur if the tens value is 0. Now we have everything we need to pronounce this number. So that will be 27,000. Okay, 27,000. You can see 2 tens. Okay, 27,900. Then all the way to the end. 956. Simple as that. So that's it. Now with this, I think we can definitely go back to the question and have it solved. So we have 4623. Before we can write it, we need to group it. So we start from the right hand side. So the first 3 digits, that's gonna be 623. Then we have our comma, then followed by the next 3 digits. But unfortunately, we are only left over with 4. Perfect. Now we need to name each digit relative to the place value. So this is going to be units times 100. Again, we have units. Then in between 6 and 2, you can see 100 and tens, we will have and. But since we have no space, we just have that at the back of our mind. So now we can pronounce this number. And having been able to pronounce it, we should be able to write it down. So if I can pronounce something, then you should be able to spell it out. So let's begin. So that's going to be 4. You can see it's units. The place value is units. 4,000 is the comma. Don't forget the comma stands for 1,000. 4,600. Then the and that has to come in between 6 and 2. 623. So that is what we want to write in word. We want to write 4,623 623 input. So we can have FOURTHOUSANDS, thousands. Okay, 6 is X 100 DRED, let's be plural, 600, and 20 TWENTY 23 THRW. Perfect. And that's the answer to part A. How have you got that? Excellent. On to part B. So we have 1, 2, 4, 3, 1. Before we can do anything, let's group it with 3. So we start from the right hand side. So the first group is going to be 431 to say in excess. Then we have our comma. Then leftover is just 1 and 2. So we're in the right, not up to 3. Well, that doesn't have any, we don't have no problem with that. Now let's name each of the digits relative to the place value. So we have units, tens, 100, unit, tens. Excellent. So remember, the first comma, if it is 1 comma you are having is 1000. Up to 2, you have million followed by 1000. Then up to 3, billion comes first, followed by million, followed by 1000. Excellent. So let's begin. Remember, in between 100 and tens, you will have the word and to pop out. So we have 12. This is 12. The 1 is actually 10. Understand? But it's been connected to the 2, so it is 12. Okay, so 12,000, the comma is 1000. 12,000. Okay, 400, this value of 4 is 100. 400, then the and we are talking about 431. 431, simple as that. So we are writing 12,421. So we have TWELVE, 12,000, CHOUSANDS, 12,400, 400 and 31. Excellent. So that is the answer to part B. I hope you're actually following. Perfect. Now on to part C. So kindly use the part C as an exercise and let me know your solution in the comment section below. So let's move to part D. Okay, how do we pronounce? So we can write out these given number. So we have 500022. So let's group it just as the way we have been doing it right from start. So starting from the right, the first 3 pairs of number is going to be 022. That will be the first group of 3s. Then followed by the comma. Then the next group would be 5. Properly. That will be 500. Excellent. Now remember, we have just 1 comma here, so that will stand for 1000. Let's name each of the digits which are relative to their place value. So we have unit, tens, 100, unit, tens, and 100. So now we can pronounce or state the number. Now don't forget, in between 100 and tens, we'll have the word and. Perfect. So normally we should have and in between 100 and tens here, but you can clearly see that the 10 digit is now 0. So which means the word and should be in between 100 and units. But unfortunately, the unit is also 0. Thus, we need not to include the word and. Therefore, to pronounce this word, that will be 500 completely. 500, then all these are zeros. 500, then the comma, thousands, Okay, then the word and 22. Perfect. 2 tens, 2 units. 500, the comma, thousands, and 22. So therefore, we are writing the word 500,000 and 22. So that will be 500,000, 500,000 and 22. Sorry, 22. Perfect. So that is our answer to part D. So I hope you find this helpful and understanding. So I want to believe by now you should be able to group any given number in threes and then pronounce it or spell it out, and also write out the numbers and words. So let's move to number 2.